Welcome to my channel, All for Health with Jane. Family at last. Accused number 4 in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. Something is being said about him. You know, we've been asking ourselves questions about him, wanting to know what role did he play in all this, or maybe allegedly the role that he played in this. Finally, today in this court, our questions are being answered. Family, watch and listen as Advocate Nxumalo is taking through Brigadier Gininda through the cross-examination, where the focus is on the role that was played by accused number 4, who is known as Mr. Mapisa. So, family, let's watch and enjoy as all this happen.
Brigadier, just to set the record straight, in respect of my client, Mr. Mapisa, the contents of the video clip vis-a-vis the statement or the assertions that were made by my late colleague, Mr. Mgomezulu, on the 28th of August, 2024, are not relevant in the sense that we have pursued this aspect that he was not at the scene, that is at house number 13511, Kutlandong Street, Fosloras.
No, I disagree. That's not what the evidence shows. If you move from the confession made by accused number 2, he implicates accused number 4. If you look at the statements that we dealt with, my lord, composed by Constable Zungu, accused number 4 is implicated. If you look, and I know it's a point of contention, if you look at the DA analysis, even though the conclusion, as I've said, my lord, of the DNA excludes him, but the analysis reads him. There are regions of accused number 4 being read into the DNA that was found inside the house, and that corroborates, find the corroboration in the confession of accused number 2, who says he went in with accused number 3. After the first shot was fired, when he ran out, accused number 4 went into the house. So I can't say he was not there. If you take that evidence in totality, my lord, it places him at the crime scene, my lord.
Amen.
And further, my lord, last on that part, the collaboration is further confirmed in fairness to the other accused, my lord, in that accused one, even in his own confession, says he was standing outside. And indeed, you don't find his DNA inside the house. And that is now independent before our time. It is said in terms of the confession and the investigation that accused 5 was the driver. And indeed, there is no DNA of him. The investigation points to 3 people who may have been inside the house, and that is where the regions, as much as the conclusion is excluding them, but the regions of all 3, this is now 2, 3, and 4, is found, my lord, at the crime scene.
Okay.
Yes, my lord, that's my response.
Brigadier, I don't want us to go back to the evidence that implicates my client, because we have dealt with this issue under cross-examination. But there is one thing that is worrying me. You are saying that, according to your investigations, my client was outside when the incident was taking place inside the house. Is that what you are saying?
I'm saying, my lord, if you look at the confessions of accused number 2 in particular, because that is where accused 3, and I've testified about this, that in the confession of accused number 2, that is where you will find the names of accused 2, 3, and 4 as being the role players in this offense kicks in. And insofar as accused 4 is concerned, to answer the question, is that in that confession, it is said that when the shot was fired, accused 2 ran out. And he says in that confession, my lord, as he ran out, accused number 4 was running into the house. That is contained in the confession. And now I was putting that, my lord, in relation to the DNA that was found in the house, that if you take that confession and you corroborate it with the DNA, the forensic evidence, that seems to find some of the regions, the DNA regions of accused 2, 3, and 4 only. It corroborates, my lord.
Brigadier, my question is very, very simple. Whatever investigations that you conducted, the question is, and it will remain as this, is there, so the evidence that implicates my client that you conducted, the investigations that you did, place my client, Mr. Mapisa, outside the house. It placed Mr. Mapisa outside the house, whatever investigations that he conducted.
No, it places him both inside and outside. Hence I said, my lord, in the confession, it contained that as accused 2 was going out, running out, accused 4 ran into the house. So that changes the position of from being outside to inside the house, my lord. That is why I talk about the corroboration of that aspect.
From the witnesses, Brigadier, please try to confine yourself to the questions. Please try. I know it's difficult for you to do that, but please try to confine yourself to the questions that are being put to you. From the witnesses, Brigadier, that were inside the house, you know them. I need not mention them. Is there any witness who mentions that there was a dead suspect who entered the house, except the 2 persons?
My lord, the answer is no. Let me start with the answer. But you see, the problem, the difficulty I'm having is sometimes saying no may give the wrong impression to the court if you don't put the context. Because this no, my lord, has reasons. If one looks at the statement which we disclosed to the defense, after the first shot was fired, people ran out. So you cannot now ignore that fact. I mean, ran to different directions in the house. You can't now, we are not talking about a situation where the first shot gets fired, everyone is standing in the same place. The second shot gets fired, everyone is standing in the same place. If that is a position, then it becomes fair to say no one saw the dead suspect. But when the first shot gets fired and people run to different directions, how could they have seen what happened after the first shot, my lord? Then it becomes, then I can't now say the reason they could not see the third suspect, my lord, is because they ran away after the first shot. Lastly, my lord, in the interest of justice and fairness, I cannot also now ignore, because this is evidence, it's open, has been disclosed to the defense. I can't keep it away from my mind knowing that the DNA analysis that was found inside the house links, even though it's not conclusive, some of his regions DNA of accused 4 is being read. How could I not now? How could I stand there, my lord, and believe that was never in the house? Taking into account the exhibit that I know, taking into account forensic and objective scientific evidence that places part of his DNA inside the house.
So, the understanding, Brigadier, that accused number 4, Mr. Mapisa, entered the house, you got it from the inadmissible confession of accused number 2, which could not be used against my client.
Yes, the presence of his name, my lord, came in from that confession, and then subsequently investigation was done and other evidence was collected, my lord. I've made mention, for example, of Constable Zungu, for example. But prior to that, my lord, there was already a statement of Kwabeni. It was already sitting in the docket, who also mentions accused number 4.
This understanding that you got from the statement, the confession statement of accused number 2, did you follow it up with the witnesses? Did you obtain any statement? Because I'm raising this, none of the witnesses mentioned this in their statement, even in court, when they were led by my learned colleague for the state. There is no evidence directing to the fact that a dead suspect entered the house after the 2 had entered. It's only coming up from you, Brigadier, from your investigation.
No, my lord. I've indicated that's not correct. I've said it comes from the confessions of accused number 2. And my understanding, those confessions forms part of this court's record. It's written there. If perhaps Advocate Nxumalo does not recall, we can go to it. It is contained there. He made a confession first to Lieutenant Colonel Rapado and to Mrs. Cronje, the magistrate. It is contained there where accused 4 is being mentioned as running in when he was running out, my lord.
Brigadier, I'm well aware of the contents of those confessions, but the question is, did you follow it up? Did you investigate it to form evidence alluded to the commission of the offense, or to support what is being said in that confession? Did you follow it up with the witnesses? Did you obtain statements to confirm what Ndanzi is saying in his confession as evidence alluded to the commission of the offense? Did you do that?
No, my lord. So when you collaborate, and I indicated when we dealt with the trial, on this main trial, the collaboration I did. The witnesses, and I'll go back, the witness inside the house indicate that after the first shot was fired, they ran away, my lord. Going back to them to ask what happened after that, my lord, how will they know? It's logic, my lord, that they will not know, because if you look at the confession of accused 2, he indicates that he was inside the house when the first shot was fired. It's only after the first shot that was fired that he runs out, and simultaneously as he's running out, people were running, it's contained in their statements, different to the different directions or sectors of their house. So they will not have.
Family, Kana, to be honest, we've been asking ourselves, ka accused number 4. You know, he was just cruising. He was on a holiday. Not much has been said about him. People would even suggest, why not release him? He goes home. Hence, if you can check, family, Advocate Nxumalo is always free. You know, there was not much that Nxumalo could ask, because not much is being said about accused number 4. But at least today, Brigadier Gininda has put us on a picture for us to know what happened. As we have heard that on the investigation that is done by Brigadier Gininda, including the confessions or alleged confessions by accused number 1 and 2, Brigadier Gininda places accused number 4 outside the house as well as inside the house, where he says, yes, all this time he was outside, but after hearing the shots, he ran inside the house. So that's the evidence that Brigadier Gininda is giving in this court about accused number 4. Family, thank you for watching this video to the end. Please do not forget to like it and subscribe for my channel if you haven't done so yet. I love you, family. Enjoy this video as you are enjoying your weekend. Thank you. Bye.